Okay, in this video I'm predicting UFC 319, just the main card, but it is a pretty damn good main card full of some fun matchups that I think are very interesting and difficult to predict. This one isn't very interesting or difficult to predict. Tim Elliott versus Kai Sakura. I think Kai Sakura is going to dominate this fight. I think Tim Elliott's too old. He's been around the block a lot. He's had his ups and downs. But at the end of the day, I think he's just nowhere near as good as Kaya Sakura, pretty much anywhere. I don't think he's going to be able to out-grapple Kaya Sakura, and on the feet, I think it's night and day in pretty much every aspect. I think Kaya Sakura is way more powerful, way more dynamic. He's going to throw crazy shit. He's way more dangerous. Also, Kaya Sakura is a former champion of Ryzen. It's hard to say that, like, how that compares to UFC comp, since he only went against Pantoja and did not that great. But at the same time, I think being the champion of anything really is more and better than what Tim Elliott has done in his career. I also think Kaya Sakura's competition has been a lot, like, he hasn't fought mid competition for not being in the UFC. Like, he's fought Manel Cap twice and won one and lost one, and he's been around the block against some good fucking fighters. So has Tim. At this point in their careers, I'm not betting on Tim Elliott to win this fight. I think they made this matchup to get Asakura a win. I think it makes a lot of fucking sense. And I think Kai is going to steal the show. And I think he's going to knock him the fuck out. Tim Elliott's not unshinnable by any means at all. So I think I'm going to Kai Asakura to win by knockout against Tim Elliott. You never know. He could gritty vet it down. I don't think he's gonna. I think Kai Asakura is younger, better, overall everywhere. I think if the scrambles are to occur, Kasaker is going to be able to do them effectively. Tim Elliott is not going to be able to hold him down if he wants to wrestle. And at the end of the day, Kai's just night and day on the feet. So, Kasaker to win, gets his mojo back, looks up the rankings. It's going to be fun. Next, Jared Cannonier versus Michael Venom Page. So, I hate this because I've gone with Jared Cannonier for so many fights, and he ends up losing. The one time I don't pick him against Gregory Rodriguez, he finds a way to get it done. The thing about this fight is I just can't pick anybody to beat Michael Venom Page on the feet if they're not going to grapple or if they're not going to grapple offensively effectively. I don't think Jared Cannonier is a good enough offensive grappler to like hold Michael Venom Page down or even against the cage. I think Michael Venom Page at middleweight is going to be too quick. He's going to be too elusive. On the feet, he's better than any fighter in the UFC. He's gonna beat any fighter in the UFC at a point fight on the feet. And Jared Cannonier is a middleweight. So they're all kind of mid. He's obviously a better middleweight than most, but he still has some of the issues of middleweight. He's slower. He doesn't have a ton of finishing potential. He has some, but he's not a fucking powerhouse by any means, I would say. Maybe in his other weight classes he was, but at middleweight he's not getting a ton of knockouts. He's technically sound, very good. He can get takedowns when he wants. He can strike very efficiently and effectively, and he did it against Marvin Vettori. He beat the shit out of him. But now he's getting fucking rocked in every single fight he's going up against. He got rocked and dropped and I guess not dropped, rocked and finished by Imavov. He got dropped so bad there's like it's insane that the fight didn't get stopped against Barajo. They should have stopped that over the fucking Imavov stoppage when Barajo knocked him down. He fucking literally died and woke back up, and the ref didn't stop it. It was kind of awesome, but still. He even got rocked by Gregor Rodriguez before he ended up winning that fight. I just think Michael Venom Page is going to be too elusive on the feet. He's going to tit for tat him. He's going to land shots. And I think Page has fought a lot of competition that are kind of hard to hit as of right now. Like, Sharon Magomedov's not the easiest guy to hit. Ian Gary made it boring and gay. Jared Cannonier doesn't have the technical grappling of Ian Gary. I don't think so. I think Ian Gary's good, sadly, to be honest. I know it's a weak point in Michael Venom Page's game, but it's not a super strong point in Jared Cannonier's. The grappling, I mean. And I think Page's striking is just going to be too much. It's not going to be too much in output. It's just going to be too much in movement. Jared Cannonier gets stuck up on the little things that don't matter. You got to fight like you want to fucking beat the shit out of Michael Venom Page, like, quick. You have to fight like Drickus. You have to just be a fucking mean asshole and get it up in his face. Don't let him have range whatsoever. Fucking gritty takedowns. I just don't think Jared Cannonier has the style to do that against Michael Venom Page, sadly, because I really want him to win. I just don't think he'll be able to get his striking going. I think Michael's done this to so many people, and Jared Cannonier isn't the style to negate that fact. So I'm going to go with Michael Venom Page to win by decision. He could catch him and drop him. He probably will drop him a couple times, I bet. I don't think he finishes him. To be honest, Jared Cannonier, for how many times he's been rocked and dropped, he does not get finished. So, I don't know. His chin is like the worst, best chin in the UFC. He never gets finished, but he's always almost getting finished. And Page doesn't hit very hard, but he has knockouts on his record. He's not doing it in the UFC, but I don't trust Jared's chin. I don't trust his fight style. I don't trust him to change it up. And I trust Page's. So, I'm going to go with Michael Venom Page by late rounds knockout or a decision, most likely a decision, because Page isn't that guy. So next, Jeff Neal versus Carlos Prates. So, Carlos Prates coming off a loss against Ian Gary, where he didn't look horrible. He definitely lost, but he had a chance to finish in the fifth and overall stayed in there. Jeff Neal, shit. Is he all? No. He's had a fight after the Ian Gary performance, right? I really think he has. But he's been out for a while. He also looked like shit against Ian Gary, and he didn't do anything at all. But the thing about Jeff Neal is he's very good at striking. He's very good at in the pocket, kind of getting in there and striking, and he's powerful, and he's pretty good at boxing overall. He's not going to throw some crazy kicks or anything, but he's a good striker. He's not going to go for takedowns. I don't think he's going to take down Carlos Prates. I don't even think he could. What if this is going to come down to is who I think who lands the shot and who has a better chin and who's willing to kind of trade one to throw one. And also, I trust Carlos Prates' range. I really trust Carlos Prates, the way he fights, to keep range and find the shot when Jeff Neal comes in. Jeff Neal's going to come in. He has problems with rangier strikers. He had a problem with Ian Gary. He couldn't get close. He couldn't get anything going. I would argue Ian Gary's more elusive than Carlos Prates, but Carlos is good. He's defensively sound going backwards. He knows how to move. He's a long, lengthy guy with long-ass legs and a ton of power. And Jeff Neal's been out for a long time, and I don't think he's going to come back with the necessary skill set or preparation to beat Carlos Prates at his own game. Prates is a very efficient striker when the person actually wants to fight him. Not taking away anything from Ian Gary, but he is a runner. It's just how he fights. Carlos Prates needs someone to come into him, and I think Jeff Neal's that guy that's going to come into him. I think he's going to get caught. I think he's going to get caught, dropped. I think he's going to get knocked out. I'm going to go second or third round knockout for Carlos Prates. They're going to trade. I think Prates is a little bit of better chin. Overall, I think Carlos Prates is... Jeff Neal's not going to take him down. So it's going to be a striking match. I trust the range of Carlos Prates and overall momentum in his career. He lost to Ian Gary. I don't think that's a horrible loss. He didn't lose in some embarrassing way besides him being stupid and not finishing the fight in the fifth. That's embarrassing, but he didn't get humiliated in any way. And I think Jeff Neal kind of did in the Ian Gary performance. So I'm going to go with Carlos Prates to win by knockout. Next, we have Lerone Murphy versus Aaron Pico. So this one sucks because I really said that I was never going to pick another fucking Bellator loser ever again. All the Bellator motherfucking old head veterans of Bellator come into the UFC against a really high-ranking guy and get fucking smushed. Even Kaya Sakura did from Ryzen. People come into the UFC, besides Michael Chandler, I guess, and they fight a top-ranked guy and they fucking lose. It's what's been happening. But Lerone Murphy, to me, isn't... It's hard to say, but I don't think Lerone Murphy is going to have... He doesn't have the finishing potential. I don't think he has the potential to make the fight gritty that's going to stop Aaron Pico in his tracks. And I think Aaron Pico isn't fucking Patricio Pitbull, who's 1,000 years old. He isn't stiff head, no movement at all, patchy mix. He's not fighting the best fighter of all time like Kaya Sakura did. I think Aaron Pico's in his fucking prime, and he's a powerful, explosive fighter coming into the UFC against a guy who he doesn't leave a lot of openings, but he leaves a lot of time for you to kind of get going and get comfortable in there. I will say in the press conference, Aaron Pico looked like he was going to shit himself. Like he looked so nervous for some reason. I have no idea why, but Aaron Pico looked like he was dying up there. Like he was afraid to speak. Like there was a ghost behind him or something. I just think Aaron Pico, if his weight cut's going good, which it might not be considering that press conference, he is just so powerful and explosive. And he has a ton of first round knockouts and he has a solid wrestling background. Lerone Murphy, he just beat a power punching short guy in Josh Emmett. I just don't think I don't think Josh Emmett mixed it up enough. And it's hard to put faith in Pico to mix it up like he should since he's a Bellator guy. But I just trust finishing potential nowadays, and I like Aaron Pico's way over Lerone Murphy's. If this is Aaron Pico versus any other featherweight, to be honest, if it was him versus Mobzar, I'd go Mobzar. I just don't trust Lerone Murphy ever. I think I'm always going to pick against Lerone Murphy, kind of. I think he's way too tit for tat. And we saw what Leon Edwards ended like. He's Leon Edwards 2.0 at featherweight, and we've kind of seen what Leon Edwards gets. He like isn't very. He doesn't grit down. He's a quitter, kind of. I've said this about Leon Edwards for forever. He's a quitter. Without the Usman knockout, he is just as boring as Bilal. He doesn't have the mindset to kind of like fucking throw if things are going bad or just he doesn't have like a super big gladiator mindset. And I think it's the same with Lerone Murphy. I think if it starts to get tough, it starts to get grueling. I think Murphy starts to wilt a little bit. I think Aaron Pico has the explosiveness. I think he has this. I think his short stature is going to help him a little bit to get in on grappling. I think he's going to succeed. I think he's going to find power. I could see him getting him up against the cage, going for a takedown, maybe messing it up, separating and fucking throwing right away and catching Lerone Murphy. Lerone Murphy's been dropped. He's been rocked. He's undefeated, so you can't really say anything about that because he hasn't been beaten. But and Aaron Pico has, and he's been knocked out. But I don't trust Lerone Murphy to knock out anybody, really. And I think Aaron Pico's good enough level that he's going to make it gritty. He's going to find shots. And I think Lerone Murphy is going to kind of crumble at some point that can make to someone that can mix it up and make it dynamic. I just think Pico's a good style matchup to beat Lerone Murphy. I think a guy that can mix it up while having finishing potential and being strong is a guy that can beat Lerone Murphy. And I'm going to pick him to it. I'm going to fucking pick him to do it. I'm going to go with Aaron Pico. I'm going to go with Aaron Pico by knockout. It's really stupid because I said I would never pick a Bellator guy ever again. But I'm giving it one more shot. Also, I really want him to win. I hate Lerone Murphy and the way he fights. He's not a bad guy. I just hate the way he fights. And I think Aaron Pico's super fun finishing style is way better to have at featherweight. And you best believe if it goes to a decision, they're wanting Aaron Pico. They're putting a lot behind Aaron Pico. And if he wins if he goes to a decision and it's close, bet money that it's going to go Aaron Pico. So, I'm doing that weird shit and picking Aaron Pico. I don't know how many people are doing that. I know he's the favorite, which I think is stupid as shit. He shouldn't be the favorite, but maybe it's a hot take, maybe it's not, but I'm going Aaron Pico. Next, the main event of the evening. Dricus du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. My most anticipated matchup of the year stylistically. This is the best fight to talk about. And it's hard to talk about because there's so much to talk about. Stylistically, this is an incredibly close, interesting, strategic fight. The first round is going to be insane. And if it's not, then they're completely switching up their fucking game plan, which is also interesting. As for who's going to win, I think that Dricus du Plessis is going to win. And I'll explain. So, my main reasoning to Dricus du Plessis' victory come Saturday is Khamzat Chimaev's fights against Usman and Gilbert Burns. This is the key that I think Dricus du Plessis has a very good chance of beating Khamzat Chimaev. Khamzat fought Gilbert Burns. Gilbert survived the first round. Gilbert had a really close second and third round on the feet and in the grappling. He was able to throw down with Khamzat. He was able to make it close. He was able to kind of hurt Khamzat's cardio. Same thing with Usman. Khamzat dominates the first round, but he survives it. Those next two rounds are very close, very competitive. Khamzat's starting to wilt from the cardio. Usman's starting to pick it up. That was on a week's notice. I think du Plessis he's that level of fighter. He's the Usman. He's way higher level than Gilbert Burns. I think he's higher level than Usman. I think he's way trickier than Usman and Gilbert Burns combined on the feet. I think Dricus Du Plessis is going to be too big, too powerful. He's going to survive the first round. If he doesn't, that's where Khamzat's going to win, is he submits him in the first 2 seconds, which is why this is so interesting. It's either going to be a barn burner or it's going to be over like that. Dricus Du Plessis is going to survive the first round, as many people have before, and he's going to strike with Khamzat Chimaev. Another thing, though, is that out of every person that Dricus Du Plessis ever fought, striking-wise, I've never been this worried about a knockout loss for Dricus. Khamzat Chimaev has a very clean and technical striking display in the first round, but as time goes on, he gets sloppy, he starts to throw crazy, and I think Dricus Du Plessis is going to beat the technical striker because he's weird and wacky and he'll throw from looking straight at the floor over his head. I think another crazy freak on the feet that just throws stupid is going to be the guy to kind of catch Dricus and maybe put him away. Dricus has been knocked out before. Khamzat hasn't, so we don't really know. But out of any fight that Dricus has had that I'm worried about him being KO'd, it's not Izzy. It's Khamzat, weirdly enough. I see if Khamzat is going to win, I don't see him submitting him in the first round. It would be how everybody kind of thinks he's going to win, but I see more of a knockout chance for Khamzat if he's going to win. But the way I see this going is a decision. And who's going to win a decision between these two fighters? I think it's Dricus Du Plessis. Dricus's cardio is one of the best, and it's so weird, but it's one of the best in the UFC. He looks bad while doing everything once he gets tired, but he's always doing something. Khamzat Chimaev, he has just had bad cardio. But he has such an explosive start that he could catch Dricus off guard. But as time goes on, Khamzat wilts in the second round. He wilts in the third, big time. This is a 5-round fight. Dricus Du Plessis has been here, done that, and capitalized in these moments many times now. He's a fucking defending world champion. And he doesn't knock people out all the time. He used to. In these big moments, he's not the huge... He waits to the fourth, to the fifth to finish opponents. He's used to the cardio game. Khamzat is not used to the cardio game. He's used to getting shit done quickly. And he just did that against Whitaker. My hot take with the Whitaker performance was just a very impressive performance, which he dominated and submitted Whitaker, which is very impressive. I don't think it's going to happen to Dricus. And I have a hot take that I don't think Whitaker would have... Maybe he would have gotten choked out later. Maybe he would have taken a little bit longer. I still think he would have lost. But if his chin wasn't already compromised, I don't think he's tapping that quick. I don't think he's getting face cranked to a tap. I think if his jaw doesn't fucking explode, he's in there. And I don't like the second, third, and fourth, and fifth for Khamzat Chimaev, even against Robert Whitaker. I think he would have won, but I really don't like it. And Dricus Du Plessis is a way trickier fighter to go up against. A way bigger fighter, a way better grappler, a stronger grappler, maybe not better technically, we'll see, I guess, but a way stronger grappler. And I trust Dricus Du Plessis' preparation way more than I trust Khamzat's at this point in their careers. Khamzat has had too many run-ins with pullouts, with sickness, with terrible cardio due to training and overtraining. And I want to make this very blatantly clear. Everybody in the world thought Khamzat Chimaev was just 10 times bigger than Dricus Du Plessis after one dumbass Twitter post where the angle was obviously stupid and Khamzat was way closer to the camera and it made Dricus look like a midget. We had the face-offs. They're the same fucking size. Everybody shut up. They're the same size. Khamzat Chimaev isn't the Hulk. Dricus Du Plessis is the exact same size and broader than Khamzat Chimaev. He's not going to get ragdolled. He might get ragdolled in the first, obviously. Khamzat does that to everybody. But he's going to survive. I think he's going to survive. He's put in a lot of grappling training. I trust his preparation. I don't trust Khamzat's cardio. Until he proves me wrong, I'm not going to trust it. Which he's been training with cardio people and he's been saying that he's done a lot more for cardio in this fight. I'm going to wait to see it before I believe it. And even if he does have good cardio, I just think Dricus will be able to push a pace. He's never going to back down. He's never going to get intimidated by Khamzat. He's going to keep going forward. He's going to keep throwing. He's going to keep landing. Khamzat Chimaev has been outstruck. He got outstruck by Usman in the third and second. His striking is great, but he gets hit, and he gets hit a lot. And I think he's not going to be able to figure out a tricky guy like Duplessis. I'm not going to lie. I don't think anybody has. I don't think Khamzat's going to. I think it's very hard to emulate Dricus Duplessis in the gym. I don't think Khamzat Chimaev's people are able to do that. But I wasn't meaning like Chechnyan or anything. His people around him. I just think Dricus Duplessis he has the cards on his side. And other than the first round, which is the scariest thing ever, I think Dricus Duplessis is going to start to pick up the pace. He's going to start to change tides very quickly as the fight goes on. He's going to start to pick it up. He's going to start to land. Maybe he grapples his own like offensive grappling exchanges. I think he's going to do more. I think he's going to beat Khamzat by decision. I don't think he chins him. I don't. He could. I don't think he's going to. I think it's going to be kind of a back and forth striking brawl for the majority of it, which, of course, grappling exchanges in the early rounds. But as time goes on, I don't think Khamzat's going to succeed in them. I think he's going to get tired. I think Dricus is going to pick it up. I think he's going to win. Dricus has been here before. Khamzat Chimaev, he's struggled in these like longer fights against good fighters. This isn't Gerald Meerschaert. This is Dricus Duplessis. And he's a world champion that's beaten the best of the best. And I'm going to pick him to win by decision. So, Dricus Duplessis to win. I love this fight. It's my favorite fight ever. Khamzat's a scary motherfucker. But I'm going to go with Dricus by decision. Let me know what you think about that. And I will see you soon.